Good evening, Valhalla family, Valhalla nation. I am going to be putting a video out regarding summer sleep, but this is not what this video is about. This video is about compassion fatigue, some things that happened to me a few weeks ago, and how I'm turning that negative into a positive. A few weeks ago, I had not been taking care of myself for a long time because I've been so worried about getting everything done, about pouring myself into other veterans, making sure other veterans were doing their due diligence of yoga, Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu, fitness, meditation, making sure the nonprofit was running correctly, making sure we were getting ready for Summer Salute, driving out to Mount Rainier, climbing Mount Rainier, driving back from Mount Rainier. As soon as I got back from Mount Rainier, back to work, back to paying bills, back to doing cutting grass, back to getting groceries together, back to taking care of my house, back to raising my daughter, back to taking care of my dog. And I got so wrapped up in making sure I was getting all of my chores done, essentially all of my, all of the, the staples that you have to get done every day as a man, especially as like a single dad. Making sure I was getting everything done, I was forgetting about my trauma, my depression, my anxiety. And my body, my mind was absolutely warning me the weeks leading up to my breakdown. I was tired. I was short-tempered. I was impatient. I was putting the gym on the back burner. I hadn't done yoga in a while. I hadn't gone to jiu-jitsu or Muay Thai in a while. I hadn't meditated in however long. I stopped reading my books. All I was concerned about was making sure that my veterans were utilizing holistic healing and were okay, that my nonprofit was okay, that we were getting ready for Summer Salute, and that I was getting all my chores around the house done. And I forgot about myself. And I was ignoring the physical and mental cues that my body was telling me, like, hey, you're hurting, you're tired, you're impatient, you're angry, you're not eating as healthy, you're not going to the gym, you're not taking care of yourself. And I kept just like pushing that back. Now I'll take care of it next week. But then the following week came, and it was just as stressful. I was like, okay, this week's stressful and sucks, but next week it'll shake out. And I'll take care of myself next week. I'll get in the flow tank next week, or I'll get into yoga next week, or I'll be able to go to the gym more than once a week next week. But I kept pushing it off. Next week became the following, and became the following, and became the following. And then eventually I just broke. I had a breakdown, and after a couple days after my breakdown, the dust settled. This was a couple weeks ago when I finally had my breakdown. I started taking care of myself again. And I said, okay, Guff, what can we learn from this breakdown you had? And this was before Summer Salute. And how can we prevent this from happening again? Well, I feel like I did the right thing. I called the VA, and I immediately got back into therapy. I got back on my antidepressants. And then I started prioritizing my own healing, my personal healing. I got a journal that my mother gave me, my mother bought for me, and I started writing my journal again. I've meditated a few times in the past week. I've done yoga a couple of times just here at my house by myself. I haven't been to the gym, but I've been working out in the mornings before I go to work in my garage. So I've been now prioritizing my own physical, mental, and emotional health, and I've read a couple chapters out of some new self-help books. Because although that mental health breakdown was awful, it absolutely helped me realize that, okay, I'm not invincible. I'm not rough, tough McGuff that can just take anything that's thrown at me and just shoulder it and keep moving forward. Like, even I'm a human, and I am also a veteran, and I broke down, and I am not as strong as maybe I thought I was. So moving forward from that, I'm still going to be running the nonprofit and being a president, but I did feel like a hypocrite because I've been preaching to all these veterans and civilians of what they need to do, what y'all need to do to prevent these breakdowns from happening, to continue to strengthen your physical, emotional, and mental well-being. But I wasn't doing those things because I was so worried about other people making sure they were doing those things. And it is hypocritical, and I'm sorry for that. And I'm no longer going to be doing that. And the first people that are typical victims of me not taking care of myself is like my mom, my sister, and my stepdad. They get the impatience and the anger and the no love essentially from me, and then that puts a stress on our relationship, and they're my support system, so they're obviously the first people. And then after that, it would be like my daughter's mom. However, like she's been super supportive, and luckily her and I get along really well, and we work together really well. However, it has taken a lot of work to get us to this point now. And my daughter has never suffered from my issues because no matter what, I've always been able to like push aside my shit and just love and give and care for my daughter. But I know if I continue down this road, it will bleed into my daughter and I's amazing bond and our beautiful relationship. So I said, you know what, Guff, all right, like you ignored the signs and symptoms, you broke down. Now you have to really get disciplined and motivated to work on yourself every single day, not be the hypocrite, and do your due diligence, because eventually if you stay down this road, it is going to hurt your daughter and myself. And I cannot let that happen. Like, you know, my daughter is the most important thing to me. Our relationship is. So at this point, I've gone to the VA, got back on antidepressants. Been, you know, working on myself, like I said, journaling, reading, writing. I've been doing yoga and all those things. And now I'm realizing that I'm just not as tough as I thought, and I'm not as good at dealing with my symptoms as I thought I was. And I'm a human, and you're a human, and we're all in this together. We're all veterans or civilians working together, and we all have trauma. We all have depression. We all have anxiety in one capacity or another. And I think if we can realize those things and talk about them publicly, or even just you and another person, us and another person, you can see a lot of similarities there. So I have to make some changes. And I'm not leaving the nonprofit. I'm not stopping the nonprofit. I'm moving forward. But I'm telling y'all, like, it's okay to have bad days. It's okay to fail. It's okay to break down. But it's only okay to do those things as long as you wake up the next day and say, okay, that was a bad thing. How am I going to fix it? How am I going to prevent it? It's a lot healthier to prevent a problem from happening than fixing the problem while it's happening. And I've learned that. And I've learned also, what are the important things? Well, the important things are preventing myself from having these mental health breakdowns and continuing to strengthen the relationship and the bond between my daughter and I, my daughter's mother and I, my family, my support system, and also all the people that support our nonprofit. And it was very clear after Summer Salute how many people love and support our nonprofit and our mission, and our veterans and our first responders. So the point I'm trying to drive home is it's okay to fail. It's okay to break down. As long as you, afterwards, you put together an effective plan. And I have done that because after I broke down, I called my Marines that I lean on. I've called Aaron from Struggle Beyond the Decade. I worked with my therapist. I worked with the VA. I worked with my family and my friends and my board members. And Aaron and I, Friday night before Summer Salute, we had a 6-hour in-depth conversation, mapping everything out, creating a plan, figuring out how to keep these things from happening, why it happened, and how we're going to prevent it, and how we're going to work together and create a treatment plan and fuel the jet and rocket forward and keep moving forward healthfully. And you know, there is hope. There's great things on the horizon, but I guess the point I'm just trying to drive home is that I'm a human, you're a human. We all do our best to love each other, be the best versions of ourselves. And I failed, and I fell flat on my face from just compassion fatigue, from pushing myself too hard, from giving too much, from ignoring myself, ignoring my self-love and my self-healing, because I was more worried about other people. And it's easy to fall into that trap, thinking if I help this person, love this person, help this community, do these things, it's going to heal me, but it's not. I can only heal me. I can only love me. I can only fix me. So I will no longer be a hypocrite. I will from now on do my due diligence and make sure that I'm carving out the time to do my holistic healing, to make sure I'm in front of all my issues, so that I can be a proper leader. Because being a hypocritical leader is not being a leader at all. I can't tell my community to do these things when I'm at home not doing them, staying too busy working. So I hope everybody's okay, and we're on this journey together. Is another thing that I want everyone to know, is that we're in this together. We're all humans, we're all veterans, we're civilians, and we all have shit that we got to deal with. So let's move forward together. Let's love together and let's heal together. And as long as we support each other and keep an open line of communication about our mental health and our physical health and our emotional health, because I know as soon as I stop going to the gym, my physical health is going to drop. And then it's just a domino effect into the mental health and emotional health, and then boom, I'm back in that dark hole, and I break. I break from the pressure. And that's another thing that I want to talk about. Like Aaron and I talked about from Struggle Beyond the Decade. Don't pressure yourself to positively move forward. Don't pressure yourself in your healing. But because that's just going to make you, it's going to put too much pressure on you, and it's going to be easier to stop. But if you just stay disciplined, stay motivated, and for me, my motivation is my daughter, because my daughter and I's relationship is still great. So I know, okay, it's still great, so I got to keep it great, right? So not pressuring yourself, but staying motivated and disciplined. Not being too hard on yourself, because I've enacted this plan, and I fail, and I fail all the time. But keep in mind, like, failure is okay, but you have to think about, okay, I failed, how am I going to keep myself from failing this way again? Because, life is just a lot of problems, and it's a lot of problem solving. And luckily, I made right decisions to talk to people, call people, and make sure I had a good support system around me. And that's what I think everybody in the community should do when they have issues. So, having said that, thank you all for your love and your support and your patience. Nonprofit's still moving forward. We're doing great, and hopefully this video will have a positive impact on our people, our followers, our supporters, our family, and we can all heal together, try to heal together. It's a tough road, man. It really is. Healing is ugly, and it's not linear. It's like a spiral where you think you're doing great, and you break. And then you're like, okay, I broke. I was doing great, but I broke. How am I going to fix it? And then you're going to be doing really, really awesome, and then you might backtrack and break a little bit or fail a little bit, but you just got to keep moving forward. Sometimes it feels like you're taking one step forward and two steps back, but that's okay. As long as you keep your head on straight and keep moving forward, and you find positive outlets and positive therapy and positive support systems. But it does require change and sacrifice, and I am changing a lot of things about my life and sacrificing certain things, because that's what it takes. But at the end of the day, being a father is my number one, and being a positive influence and support system to my daughter is the number one, and that's what I'm going to be doing. So give your feedback, comment, share. I'm not a huge fan of putting out videos like this, because I try to be as genuine as possible, and I don't like talking about my problems a whole lot. And it obviously wasn't good for me to not talk about my problems. But, we are leaders in the community, and we have to be leaders to our children, leaders to our family, leaders to our loved ones, our significant others. And to be a leader, you have to do the hard work of, all right, man, my ego's too big. I should have asked for help. Was I being ignorant to myself and my body, my mind, telling me that I was not okay? Yes, I was. I was being ignorant and egotistical and proud. And I know I can't do those things anymore, because I have people depending on me. But this is a positive video. Bad thing happened, I turned it into a positive. Any bad thing that happens, we can turn it into a positive, as long as you have good people around you. So I hope you find this video helpful. Everyone that watches our videos from the nonprofit will be along on my journey. And, every few days I'll be holding myself accountable by letting the community know. I journaled this amount today. I've meditated this amount today. I've done yoga this amount today. I was able to get to the gym this amount this week. And it is going to take discipline to be able to wake up earlier to do my due diligence. Go to the gym even when I don't want to. Carve out an hour of a week of free time to go to a float tank, which is tough. It's tough to just get an hour, but you have to make it happen. I have to make it happen to keep myself healthy. So I love all of you, and I appreciate all your support. And let me know if I can do anything for you, and I will let you know if you can do anything for me, because the only way we can heal is with a community, a tribe, a good support system around us. We can't do any of this alone. And that's my issue. I'm alone a lot. I live alone with my dog. And if I don't have my daughter, I'm not super happy. So I have to fix that. And I am fixing that. And we're going to get through this together. So thank you guys so much for listening. I love all of you. And tomorrow, I'll be putting out a video about Summer Salute and merchandise and updates on the nonprofit and everything. And we'll go from there. Thank you all so much. Valhalla family, I love you all. Have a good night. Have a good week. It is Monday. Do your best to get through it. And we'll be talking to each other soon. Right on.